Hey, I want to tell you about an experience I had last week that is still sticking with me. I went to the grocery store in a rush. I needed to get a bunch of groceries so I could run home and get dinner ready for my kids. And we needed to get through dinner so I could help them with their homework, and lots of stuff was going on. So I'm running through the grocery store, getting everything into my cart, looking for the fastest, checkout line and hoping to just get in and out. And so I get into this one line, and the cashier is just got this friendly presence to her. And so we start talking, and that slows things down, but it's fine. I'm enjoying the connection to her. And as we're talking, I notice that she has a really prominent large cross around her neck, and it's larger than usually people would have. And so I took a risk and I asked her, "Hey, I hope you don't mind me asking, but does that cross mean anything to you? Is there a special, reason behind it?" And so she kind of paused and said, "Yeah, there is." And so I asked, "Well, what does this cross mean to you?" And her answer really touched me. She said, "Well, I took a year to discern with this religious order. And then I made vows of prayer and service, to be who I am and to be how I live. And this cross reminds me of those vows." So, I mean, I just have continued to think about what she said. She's standing on her feet for 8 hours a day, meeting hundreds of customers, most of whom are probably in a rush, a lot of whom are maybe unpleasant or entitled or rude or condescending, ungrateful. She's scanning thousands of items, can't make any mistakes, lots of metrics probably governing her job performance. And she's wearing a cross to remind her to live a life of prayer and service. In other words, to live a life of loving God and loving others. And it just, I see a lot of people wearing crosses, and usually it seems like it's a fashion accessory, a status symbol. Maybe it's a way of signaling, like, I'm one of you, and you should vote for me. You should agree with the policies I'm promoting. It feels like a tool to boost oneself up. And the way she was wearing her cross, it was motivating her and reminding her to live like Jesus lived, to live a life shaped by dependence upon God and caring for her neighbors and meeting their needs and literally serving them by checking them out at the grocery store. Obviously I'm not vouching for this person's entire life. I don't know if she like is a crazy driver or mean to her family, or of course I don't know any of that, but just the way she carried herself as a cashier set an example for me to imitate. She showed me what it looks like to take up your cross and follow me, to deny herself and to focus on the needs of others. And I know from my research that we become like Jesus when we see someone else follow Jesus, and we see their example, and we decide to be influenced by it. And we decide to let their way of following Jesus uh, motivate us to do the same. And so I wanted to tell you about her because I think her example of prayer and service is worthy of imitation. And it's an example I want to bring into my life. And so that's my story. I'd love to hear your story of a time you've just met somebody, maybe on an airplane or at the park or, at a school event, where just this chance encounter where God put someone into your life to show you what it looks like to follow Jesus and how maybe that's inspired you to follow Jesus yourself. So I hope this can be more than just me talking at you. I'd love for it to start a conversation. Thanks for listening, and check in next time.